all round the clock matters. And you know, say for this platform, when they bring different story when they happen all over the world and even for our country, Nigeria. Yes, and today, I'm so excited. You know why they're happy? Because today is the first time when they bring in guests on this platform. And from now on, we're going to expect to see more people when we discuss different topics with us, things when they happen for our community at large. So today, here with me in the studio, yes, I get one wonderful personality. But before I introduce her, make I tell you now the topic what we want to discuss today. We want to talk about wrong parenting, a jeopardy to destiny. And what it mean be say, if you not bring up your child well, what will happen to the child for future? What will be the state of the child when the child don't finally grow up, make the child face society at large? Also, we understand that the break and down, so you know how we do one for this place. Yeah, and make we meet my guest for today. His name is Pastor Jude. Welcome, sir. Welcome.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm so excited to have you here today.
Yeah, my name is Pastor Jude Uti, National President, Hilltop Evangelistic Network, with headquarters in UAE, and then I'm also a top executive of Isoko Experience Group.
Wow.
Yeah, Isoko Experience Group is one religious group that does yearly worship gathering.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, within the territories of Isoko, in Isoko, both south and north, and
wow.
Neighboring towns as well.
Okay.
So it's a once in a year event that conveys people from all walks of life to worship God. But primarily, we're kicking off from Isoko. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, that's huge.
I'm very sorry. I
You're
can't
welcome.
speak Pidgin.
Really? Anyhow, we want to. Anyone when you don't understand, trust me, I go help you break. Okay, now English man, now we get here today, but I believe so you do understand or you will try to follow up waiting in the talk. I will help you out even if you're not fit. So, Pastor Jude, make we just start off straight up and make we just start with parenting. Waiting parenting people.
Well, parenting, for me, I'll say same thing as parenthood.
Wow.
It's the process of becoming a parent, and if you narrow it down to the home, I would say it's the process of bringing up children, the process of raising up children. And if I want to come from my own perspective, I would say it's all about modeling the younger generation, because I understand quite right that parenting it's an up to down arrangement, from a higher level to a lower level. Someone has to be on the higher pedestal to be able to disciple, someone on the lower pedestal. But I want to say that parenthood should not be narrowed down to just the home, because I believe that we are responsible for our well-being. I'm responsible for your well-being, you're responsible for my well-being. And if I find myself in a higher level or in a better position to model you, then I become a parent to you. So parenthood or parenting, it's all about modeling. It's all about modeling, and if you narrow it down to the home, it is modeling the younger generation.
So in essence,
Yeah.
parenting now the concern when you show to the younger ones.
Exactly.
People when they older than maybe from your workplace, it's maybe from your home, from the church, whoever. When you don't get opportunity pass, when you
Exactly,
take care of
that's the word.
waiting parenting. Wow, I like this your own perspective. See, some of us will just say, who born pikin, who father a child, and the parents will us. I like this very one when you just talk. Okay, fine. Now we don't know waiting be parenting. To you, what will you say a wrong parenting is?
Yeah, wrong parenting for me it's applying conflicting moral standards to raising up children or the younger generation, like I put initially. You understand? Yeah, we find ourselves in a society where the predominant values or morals are not generally accepted. They are below standard. They can't stand the test of time and all of that. So I want to say in a nutshell that wrong parenting, it's all about applying the wrong moral standards, conflicting moral standards. Yes. So that's what I think is wrong with the parenting.
Okay. For wrong parenting. This one, when you just talk right now, so you generalize everything.
Okay.
Like, are you generalizing it? And you want to tell us now, say every parent got to follow that process, or waiting work for one, if you don't work for one. You understand?
Of course.
Fine.
But generally speaking,
Okay.
there are things that are acceptable in societies.
Okay.
There are values that are acceptable in societies. Even though what is obtainable in this part of the world, in Africa and Nigeria, may not be obtainable in the Western world or other more developed world, because it matters the context with which we are, seeing parenting. Because what could be moral in Nigeria, in Africa, could be immoral in the Western world. Somewhere else. What could be immoral there could be moral here. I got talking with someone who just returned from Israel, where they went for pilgrimage and all that. And he told me about a region where even children smoke. They are allowed to smoke because of the cold weather. It's so intense that children are allowed to smoke. And of course, I believe if children are allowed to smoke, then they can be allowed to take alcohol as well. Yeah. So you can see what I'm trying to say. So if you narrow it down to this part of the world, I would say that wrong parenting, it's all about adopting the wrong, or I would say disastrous attitudes to raising up children. Yeah.
Okay, disastrous attitude to raising up children. Okay, see, I won't try and relate this thing to what they happen for our society right now. See, right now there are plenty of people, children when not just they are 18 years, 20 years, or say after I don't come up age, I feel stay alone, I feel do things alone, even without the help of my parents.
Yeah.
And you see some of them going to this internet frauding, some young girls go into prostitution and all that. Now, will you now relate that from the home they are coming from?
Oh yes.
Okay.
Absolutely, you can trace it to homes.
Wow.
Yes. I come from a home.
Okay.
And perhaps someone watching from wherever they are could know something about my pedigree.
Okay.
You see, some of these values and morals that we are exhibiting today, some of them were inculcated, from our parents,
Wow.
through our parents. You understand? Yeah. So the parents is the first role model to every child.
Wow.
Because the home is one basic organ of the society. One basic organ. As a matter of fact, if you ask me, I'll say the home is the first organic habitat that everyone finds himself.
Wow.
You are supposed to have an origin,
Okay.
and your origin should be your home. I understand that there are so many persons who grew up on the street, like some were abandoned and all of that, some children were abandoned and all that. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about what is generally obtainable. Everyone has a root from a home. You understand what I'm saying now? So what they grow up seeing, what they grow up getting to used to, goes a long way to affecting the child.
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. See, from what you just talk right now, I don't also see children maybe say they come out from some kind place where you feel say, okay, this one are wrong parents,
Okay.
or this people they really they up to, and some of them grow to the point where we say they can't get to mix up with people later when not be their parents, maybe friends, peers, and when you see things can just change for their life. You see, somebody went bad before can just turn good thing. Okay. Maybe we'll talk about that one when we come back. But right now, I want to make we go on a short break. So when we come back, we'll also be talking about age. You know, age when somebody will reach before you will say, I want to become parents. Is there any age like that? Or if you just wake up one day and say, make I just become a parent. So when we come back, we will talk about all those things too. Not go away or make you stay tuned.
Everything you put your hand go walk. Your name go open doors. You self go be a boss. Amen. Amen. Everything you put your hand go walk. Your name go open doors.
Now welcome back. This is All Around the Clock Matters. When I remember saying my name is Tessie Mukoro. And here in the studio we still get Pastor Jude Uti. I remember saying when they talk about wrong parenting, a joke party to destiny. And we will just continue on what we discussed before. But before we continue, I'll make I talk about something one of our major sponsors for today's edition, Super Soft Kitchen. Now do well. You see this drink? Make I taste that first. Make I just test this one first. This will go enter class. Now Super Soft Kitchen and dual. They produce so many things and natural soya beans. They produce natural spices. They cook for occasion, different occasion. They will bake your cake for you. Whatever you want to do, at Super Soft Kitchen, we go plus the number from our screen. Make you copy, make you call them. Pastor Jude, see, let's continue. We will talk about if parenting gets the age when somebody supposed to start to bear children. What do you have to say about that?
Well, I'm not a man of the consensus. I may not put my fingers on what is already trending or what is already acceptable.
Okay.
For me, I would say for a girl child, from the ages of about 18, the girl child should be matured enough or should be tutored enough to be a parent. Then, for the male child, I'll say from the ages of 25. Yeah, because more of the responsibilities in homes is on the shoulders of the male child. That's what I
So the male child should be older.
Yes.
And most of people don't get a situation where the male child don't really the older and the woman can the older. That was too bad.
No, it's not bad.
Okay.
You know, it's all about one's experience and pedigree. Yes. If the opposite is the case, and the girl child is older than the male child, no problem. If the girl child is mature enough, intellectually, mentally, and otherwise, to handle what parenting is all about, to handle the home, then why not?
Okay.
We can have that.
Wow, that will follow too. Okay, and to you now, it could make mama and papa with the pikin, maybe they get relationship together, or it could make a father just have to be like a boss in the office, just call me, pass instructions to your children, and you leave them. So what do you get to talk about the relationship between papa, mama, and pikin?
This is a very, very vital question because it's very, very important. And it's one of the threats to parenting children. It's one of the greatest threats to parenting. You see, there is no connectivity between parents and children in this part of the world, especially in this part of the world. You see parents, bossing over their children. They apply what I call harsh discipline or harsh disciplinary actions to raising up their children. They believe in so much force and compulsion, even when the children are not up to the level to comprehend what they are trying to communicate to them. They want them by all means to fulfill all their laws. And they are ready to do everything, they're ready to apply every force. I even came to experience something one time, how that a parent got his son arrested.
Wow.
Took the child to the police. And they got this child tortured and beaten. You understand what I'm saying? And such a parent still wants the child to return home
And listen.
and still listen to daddy and mommy. You understand what I'm saying now? So, you see, the relationship here between parents and children matters a lot. It has to be put on the balance. You need to know when to apply the rod, and you need to know when to apply love. It is not a mistake that both words have the same stress syllables, love and the rod. For me, I'll say side by side, apply both. I believe so much in disciplining a child with the rod. The Bible says, spare the rod and spoil the child. In fact, a more critical part of the Bible says, I think in Proverbs says, the rod of correction will take away foolishness from the child. So every child has foolishness in him. And so the rod will take it away. But when the rod is not working, what happens? Because there are some kids that the rod doesn't work for.
That's true.
And some people say they say they are aliens. Some say, I don't know, there's a word for, they say they are bizarre children. You understand? But I believe that every child, as long as he's a child, as long as he remains a child, has a special mechanism that works for him or for her.
Okay.
You have to, as a parent, be very, very observant. Pay close attention. What is the drive of this child? Why am I always in conflict with this child? Why must I be harsh for this child to be able to understand or get what I'm trying to communicate? Because it's all about communication. The parent is trying to communicate something to the child. Yet the child will not comprehend, the child will not succumb, and the parent wants it done. You understand? By all means. And so, I think in that case, you go back to your dressing room, go back to the drawing table as a parent, and think again, what is that method that I need to apply on this child? Sometimes it might just be all about applying the power of love. For me, love the child some more. If you find out that the rod is not working, love the child some more, because children are bound to revolt when you become too harsh on them. No one wants to be intimidated or oppressed. Everyone, including children, there is something in them. It is embedded in them to want to revolt against oppression or against a harsh atmosphere. Yeah.
So when you use the wrong approach, you definitely get the
wrong result.
attitude or the wrong result
Yes.
from the child. You know, just try to understand that child very well. Understand the child, make you know which one will work for the child. You know, just like you just said, every child one day you say that they're special too. So if you not treat them from that angle, the problem you
Let me come in. Let me come in. You see, we are so in this part of the world. Sorry, I'm always saying in this part of the world because we have so much challenges in this part of the world. Yeah, in this part of the world, learning and attitude generally is stereotyped.
Wow.
You know, how many parents take their children out for play, for recreational activities?
How many?
How many?
That's true. How many?
You know, you see parents always leaving the house very early and coming back late.
It's at night.
At night. And they tell you, oh, I'm trying to put food on the table. I'm trying to be responsible. Providing money, providing food on the table isn't all about parenting. There's more to parenting. You understand?
Yeah.
There are children who will listen to you only when they are playing with you.
Wow.
When they are swimming with you in the pool or at the beach, they will listen. Just find out what works for that child. Time will not permit me, I would have done more.
Okay, I understand. I just hope so we they understand and we they try. Not say Pastor Jude Uti like big language well. So me they try, they want to break them down so that you will also flow alongside with us. Before we go talk about something else, you know, when we talk about parents, we also they see some children. And you know say then when I did primary school, you get waiting, you know that's what they call audition. They go flog you, go put the app with the teacher, like flog me saying, you know, you they try to waste the kid. I don't go shake, I don't go cry, I don't go make you pay you. You understand? Why? People they learn those kind of things for classroom too because they see other of their classmates, they do and to the teacher. So make we also know, say people when our child they mingle with outside. Now them they influence our child. Even if we try for ours, those people get the power to change our child or waiting we don't they actually teach them from home.
Well, for me, I'll object a little.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll object a little because I believe that every child has an origin.
Okay.
And the first contact that every child has is the home. No child was born and just thrown into the society just like that. There is room for nurturing, which begins from the home. Come to think of it, how many hours do people spend outside the home?
Okay.
Compared to the numbers of hours they spend in the house, in the home.
I also remember that some people they go to school.
Of course.
You know they come out for their parents and
Of course.
they'll stay months before they still come back.
Yes, but don't forget that that child has been in the parent's house for more than 20 years, or more than 17 years,
Wow.
or more than 18 years before probably proceeding for the higher institution. So what happens? What has been going wrong? I mean, what has been going on within the space of 15 years or 17 years, depending upon when the child qualifies for a higher institution? What has been going on? So I will say that it is true that there is peer influence, there is influence outside the home. You know, there are challenges outside the home. There are circumstances that may want to make the child shift grounds on his morals, on his good morals, perhaps. Yet, more of the responsibility lies on the parents. Are you getting me now? Now, this child has been under your watch for many years.
Oh, yes.
What can you say you have actually done to permanent these good morals in the life of this child? Because a wise school of thought says charity begins at home. If the child goes out there and comes in contact with the wrong influence, the wrong association, that wrong association becomes strange to this child. Because over the years, he's been brought up with good moral standards. So what am I seeing in school? What am I seeing in school now? I wasn't raised with smoking cigarettes. How come I meet people smoking cigarettes out here? So I believe that if your child is easily influenced out there, you are failed as a parent.
Easily influenced, meaning say the first use style to influence the child. But if the child just for once,
Exactly.
like add to all the problems, meaning say you will not still try.
Yeah, can I drop something more?
Okay.
There is every tendency for the child to shift grounds, for the child to be influenced out there.
Okay.
But what goes on the inside is stronger than what goes on the outside.
On the outside.
If the child still retains the fact that although I have shifted grounds, although I'm drifting away from the moral standards, yet I know what is right. I know what mommy and daddy has been teaching me all this while. I think in that case, there is bound to be a change from bad to good.
Okay. Meaning say even if the child fall into temptation once, but because of the one way you don't do for house, you don't try which one aspect, the child feels still like switch back here, make I do the good thing, because I'm waiting they bring me up with this. Okay, before we go to the last question, let me round up this section. Remember, say if you enjoy waiting with the talk, and the visitors call us, drop comments and try make you encourage this show so that we go to do more, to bring many people. We still get to talk about this same topic again, elaborate on another form. But before we ask the last question, let me say thank you to our July sponsors, US Affairs July sponsors. One of them, Honorable Chukura Ikechukwu, the CEO of Sky Eyes. I want to make I say thank you for the support we they give to US Affairs. We say thank you, God go bless you. More money to that your Azar. And another of our July sponsor, now they call Christian John, aka Kata. Kata, you too much. We thank you. We thank you for the good things we they do for our US Affairs. We pray may you continue to do for us, just the way they do for others too. So maybe we just go to the last question. The last question we will ask you, Pastor Joe, see, I be say, what be those things when we go say now this thing and the responsible for wrong parenting?
Well, among many factors, there's so many factors, so many things to talk about when it comes to wrong parenting.
Okay.
But I'll just pick a few.
Okay.
I'll say, first of all, illiteracy.
Wow. Illiteracy.
Yes.
Okay.
Illiteracy is one big factor
Okay.
that sponsors wrong parenting. Or you can put ignorance,
Ignorance.
you can put darkness, as the case may be. You understand? Yeah. Illiteracy. For me, I don't see illiteracy as the inability to read or write or express yourself in English.
Okay, good the way you did explain that like this.
Yes.
Go away, not illiteracy once.
Yes.
I
believe illiteracy is all about an unproductive mind, a dark mind, a stereotyped mind, a a myopic mind. Now, when a mind is not fruitful, there are unfruitful minds. Yes, time will not permit me to go into that, but there are unfruitful minds. There are people that, even though you call their attention to some very vital issues about life, they find it difficult to comprehend because they are used to the status quo.
Wow.
They find it so difficult to shift ground. They find it so difficult to adapt to probably better mechanisms that will help to better their life. So in that case, I'll say such persons are illiterate, even though they have all the intellectual know-how about life.
Wow.
Yes. So illiteracy is one big factor. Most parents are illiterates.
Their mind they dark.
Dark minds.
Okay.
You understand?
Yeah.
Dark minds, unproductive minds. You understand? And they tend to transfer these traits to their children.
Their children.
So you can see what children are suffering from. Because the parents should know that he or she is the first role model to the child. Your child is not just going to produce what you have over the years put into him. It's going to multiply it.
Okay.
Because that's children for you. They are very inquisitive. They want to, get to the root of everything. So the more you exhibit this illiteracy, on your mechanisms of raising children, you find out that these children grow up to even, manifest more of these negative attitudes. Yes, so illiteracy is one very big factor, and I'll say the wrong mindset to money.
I think I like that one.
Yes, wrong mindset to money. You see, in our society today, we have really, really empowered money. So much that money becomes the order of the day. So much that even though you have what it takes to be successful in your society, when you don't have money,
You are nothing.
you are nothing. You are seen as a nobody. And the truth is, most persons who do not have money have the wherewithal. They have what it takes to make up a good home, to make up a good society. If only they could be given a chance. If only the society would come back to their right senses to say, money is not all therein. Put two children before a parent. One is rich, the other
It's not rich.
is not rich. I don't want to use the word poor because I'm not negative. One is rich, the other is not rich. The parent will go for the rich one. Even though he's a serial killer, even though he's a drug addict, even though he's a drug trafficker, even though he's, just think about it, anything bad. But as long as the guy can put money on the table, why not?
Wow.
Why not? It becomes an option A to the parents. You see? So, the wrong mindset to money is one big factor when it comes to wrong parenting. And then we've touched a little bit of that before, but I would say harsh discipline.
Okay.
Harsh discipline is also a factor. Harsh discipline. Instead of, thinking and searching your soul to find that thing that works for your child, you want to do it with all compulsion, with all violence. In fact, some parents end up abusing their children. You see,
Because they must listen.
they must listen. Oh, this child must listen to me. I'm your father. I gave birth to you. You must listen to me. The child may not even listen to you as the biological parent, but the child may end up listening to someone else out there to make the child do the same thing that you wanted this child to do. So if we are good researchers, if we can be open-minded to see what works for one child that may not work for another, then the home will be a better place. Go out there and find out who can easily influence this child. Who is this person that can easily talk to a child? Have you noticed that some children prefer to go on a holiday trip to be with other parents, to be with other guardians, other places other than their biological parents? Why? Because they find the atmosphere over there more conducive for them to develop. So harsh discipline is also an issue. Yeah.
Okay. Maybe because of time, we feel not take everything when we say they're responsible for wrong parenting. But I believe say we don't hear some of these things, we will apply them for our children so that we not going to contribute to the problem when the society don't already get. Maybe we try, maybe we help the society as large. This one are all around the clock matter, and after now we go see they talk about different things for our next episode. But before we go, finally make we say thank you to all our sponsors. Super Soft Kitchen, I want to say thank you. And you can call them, their numbers are going right on the screen, and also they display to you so many good things when they do. Remember, I said they get into cooking, baking, frying, and steaming, and they train people on how to do all these good things too. If you want to contact them to learn how to do this thing, or you know how to cook before, but you want to improve your skills. We also have Nation Essence. Nation Essence, these people that they into this natural herbs only has to do with cholesterol, you know, how to control your blood pressure and all that. You understand? Their number also did the screen and make you call them. We also have a Pure Life high quality shopper chef set. You know these sets of sets. Now this one so you can use they cook, you know they burn food. If you use them fry, you know they burn anything where you want to use. Now very nice one. Make we try to stop here for today until we go come again. Remember, say and Pastor Jude Utsi, and be our guest today. Thank you very much for coming, sir.
Thank you, Miss Tessie.
Thank you.
I really appreciate it.
I mean, when they shoot this cake, will not even make it go because some people there behind the camera already. They wait for the cake, but they could just collect. They will jump on our own vessel. Okay, before we go random, Pastor Jude get one question for us. The question has to do with parenting. To you, who is a successful parent? Who is a successful parent? We go once make you analyze who is successful parents. Give us for our comment section. And our next episode, we go announce the winner. We go even splash your picture for our show. Yeah, we will make it celeb. And your prize now 5,000 naira. 5K, no. So make you analyze who be good parents for us under our comment section. And next episode, make sure you follow us. Subscribe to our YouTube page. For our YouTube page, you will get to see this show. Tessie Mukoro for our YouTube page. Instagram Mukoro Tessie. For Facebook Tessie Mukoro. Just follow up, you understand? So that when we announce your name, you go hear. Thank you very much for watching. All around the clock matters. Until we go see again. Make you stay good, make you stay calm, make you stay blessed. Bye bye for now. What's the deal? Bye bye. Bye.
Bye.